am I?
Where are you?
Where am I? I've got to flip my cameras. There we are.
There he is. Hey, how's it going? So, good evening.
Hey, good evening to you, man. Nice. It's been a long time since I've seen you.
I know. It's been a roller coaster.
Oh, yeah. We won't even go there.
I know, don't go there. Don't go there.
No.
Yeah, this is a first for us both, isn't it? Really, we've never really done anything like this before.
I'll be honest with you. I've always avoided video chat at the best of times. But yeah, I mean, this is great. This is like, I mean, I'm really glad you set this up. Like,
yeah,
it's great to have a bit of a chance to chat and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So, So I'll tell a little funny story about how I first met you. As a pedal addict myself, I just really wanted a new fuzz pedal, and I was just scrolling through Reverb as I do pretty much on a minutely basis, and I typed in my local area, and you popped up, and from there I've pretty much been in contact with you. We've got 2 of your pedals. Love the sound of them.
We've become friends, and you're just down the road from me as well. It's amazing.
You know, you're literally 5 minutes down the road from me, and it's pretty like I have, but
so you roboted a bit then, but it could be my end because my internet's rubbish.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you started sort of getting into pedal building and sort of your influences behind why you do what you do?
I mean, I started. Well, I've tinkered with pedals for years, but like in 2016, I was made redundant, and I just thought, you know what, I'll take a stab at this and have a go. And even though I'm still not earning minimum wage, you know, I'm getting there, and I've learned so much along the way and met so many great people, and like yourself, and yeah, it was one of those things I kind of fell into. I stopped gigging for a bit. You know, I started tinkering more with the pedals, came up with a few of my own ideas as well. And then once you realise that there's this rabbit hole you can go down, it's like, man, I'm going straight down it.
I've done that rabbit hole since I was about 11, I think. It's been crazy.
Well, when I was about 10 or 11, I'm probably about 10 actually, I bought Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast. and my mum was like, oh, are the lyrics all right? And he got my older sisters to check it out. I was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. And ever since then, Distortion, I was like, oh, straight on. That's a whoa. Was that you?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Just all right. No worries. That's fine.
What would you say is like your sort of, what bands did you listen to then that influenced your sort of your tone pedal going forward?
I mean, I grew up in the early 90s, and grunge was the thing, or punk, or whatever you want to call it. So I was listening to bands like Dinosaur Jr., Jesus Lizard, anything really, Nirvana. You know, the whole gamut, Mudhoney, and some other bands like Laughing Hyenas and stuff like that. Weird stuff. And basically, I used to go to my local record shop and be like, have you got anything on Sub Pop Records, Touch and Go? And I'll give him a list of like all these record labels, and he'd be like, oh man, do I engage with this kid? But I used to end up with piles of CDs and take them home, and that's like really where all of my influence comes from. Later on, I've got into other stuff like Radiohead and other things, you know, a bit more widely varied. I mean, I love classical music, I love folk music, I love all sorts, all
variety of the spice of life.
But the core of it's definitely the punk and grunge of the early 90s.
Yeah, it's a great period for music, you know. I think I was about sort of 13, getting into all that sort of stuff for the first time, and you know, listening to like the first couple of Nirvana albums and just thinking, oh, what's that? Exactly. What's that sound? You know, how do you get that
what's
sound?
This?
Yeah,
like
my
sister was my little sister was in to Take That or something at the same sort of time, and I was like, man, this is what I want. I don't want these pretty boys. Yeah.
So
yeah.
what was your first what was your first pedal you sort of made, or was it like a sort of a classic circuit that you were like tweaking, or?
First pedal I made, I haven't got it to hand actually. It was a electro harmonics linear power boost, you know, a really ultra simple circuit. And what I really wanted to make was a delay.
Mhm.
But I was like, I can't. I'll start with small. And I made it on Vero, like strip board,
Mhm.
from I think I got the layout from a forum online, which is really, really useful for anyone who wants to start building pedals and, you know, trying stuff out. But yeah, that was a long time ago, and I built it like in a 1590 double B, which is like it's a bigger. I haven't got anything close by. But it's a fairly big box for what the pedal is, because it's a tiny little one knob jobby. But you know, you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere, yeah.
But yeah, I really always liked breadboarding, so making like tweaks to old circuits and things like that, and adding new bits. Thinking, well, what would happen if I did that? And sometimes nothing happens.
Yeah.
The majority of the time, nothing happened. But sometimes you're like, oh my god, I could feed that whole thing back in on itself and create all manner of havoc. And it's brilliant.
I think when you find like a crazy wacky pedal, I think that one of the first fuzzes I tried was a ZVEX Pro. I think it was like a probe fuzz or something like that, and it's got that weird touchpad that you can sort of mess about with. And I remember like the first time I tried that, it was a bit like, what?
What's going on there? I had a period of playing classical guitar with a piezo pickup through a pedal board with loads of fuzzes and stuff, and the only one I couldn't get to work in some way with the nylon string guitar was the Fuzz Factory. Fuzz Factory, and it was just like, I love this pedal, but in my setup at the minute, it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna work.
No, but maybe I want another one now. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Mind you, that Bliss Factory, Chase Bliss and ZVEX have done. Wow.
Well, I've just got into the whole like Chase Bliss sort of world of things, and it's just blown my imagination. They create the creativity with them, you know. And I know people they say the price is like sort of top notch, but I think since having I've got three now, since having the three of them, I can understand what the hype is and why they are so sought after. And like
you've got to consider the amount of like background work that goes into creating.
Yeah, the manpower into it as well.
It blows my mind. I have no idea how those guys do it. You know, there's certain builders certain creators out there, and you know, it always blows my mind. And those sort of things, like, there's so much work goes into the prototyping. Then you've got the manufactured costs. You've got, you know, you're not just paying for parts in a box. You're paying for a lot more work behind the scenes.
So what would you say? You know, if you had to sort of like we all got like sort of like guitar sort of idols, and like, you know, I love Hendrix and you know, etc. Who in the pedal world would you say is your sort of like main sort of influencer?
Do you know what? Genuinely, it's the other builders like around me. So like I don't know, on Instagram. Oh man, sometimes I see people's builds and I just think, I'll give up now. You know, it's so clean and so like inspirational, and I think that's the main thing really for me, is the inspiration that this little community we've got. You get inspiration for all manner of things, and like it may not be the sort of thing you do yourself. You're just in awe of the way someone's mind works to get this amazing thing out there. So there's loads of people I could mention. Like, it's basically anyone I'm following, like builders and stuff like that, and ones I'm not. Like, they're the inspiration there
Yeah.
There were
Well, that's what I like about the whole community. It's
yeah,
I've met like yourself through yourself. I've met people through your pedals and
yeah.
yourself. And it's great just sort of talking to people, and
And it's
listening to
amazing who
other
you end
people
up
trying
talking
different
to.
things.
Yeah,
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 definitely. And there's some fantastic people in this community, and there's some fantastic builders. It's just, and I don't get the impression. I think it's one of the last places that there isn't this bitchiness between people.
yeah,
There isn't this like, oh, he does it better than me. I'll take a stab at him, or at least it's not regular.
yeah.
Generally it's pretty supportive, and I think that's
Yeah, that's good, isn't it? That's good.
hmm.
And I think this whole with the whole COVID situation as well that's been going on, that I've been sort of in different places mentally and things like that over the course of this, and having people like yourselves putting your products out there, and geeks like me then sort of oh yeah, and then delving into it a bit more, it just takes your mind off sort of the world.
And I'm pretty sure there's countless. I mean, I've definitely had moments this year where I thought, you know what, I don't know whether I can do it today.
Yeah,
and I'm sure everybody's had them days, especially this year. So
definitely.
I think if we can all stick together a bit more, that's, to me, that makes it worth it. It makes, sometimes I don't have a payday, so I sometimes just give me some hope, man. And someone says something that actually, that's what makes it worth it. Well, someone says something nice about what you do, or it really is noticed. I don't take it for granted at all. And every time someone has sent me a message or commented on one of my posts or something like that, I'm wow. I'm actually genuinely blown away by it. It's amazing.
Well, I remember when I bought the bloody Noir off you, and I sent you a picture of her on my board. You were like, "Oh man, that's awesome!" And I'm like, "Well, it's a good pedal. It doesn't matter if it's a big name or a small name. If it sounds good, it sounds good, doesn't it?"
The bloody Noir is a close one to my heart as well, because I think that I'm not sure people know what it is. I mean, it was a big muff, and what I did was I ripped out the all of the clipping section and replaced it with a really basic brutal fuzz. Some people, it's kind of like a Baz fuzz type thing, which was a DIY design a long time ago. It's kind of like that, and then I sort of patched it all back together, and I had this thing, and it's like, is it too noisy? Is it too this? But you really brought to light the fact, no, it's good. It's good pedal.
Well, I've had so many different fuzz pedals over the years. Yeah. Well, I've had so many pedals over the years, and guitars and amps and God knows what.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in your house and I was trying all the different pedals you had. As soon as I plugged into that pedal, I just knew. I think it was the first pedal I tried, and I didn't even try the other ones. And as soon as I plugged in and hit the board, I was like,
I remember, because I was like, do you know what I was trying? There's a super fuzz. No, that's the one.
That's the one, yeah.
It to me. I was like, that was brilliant. That's good. And I missed that, actually, because we had a couple of times where you came around and we did some demos and things like that, and it was really, really good fun. So
when lockdown goes and we can do it again, we'll do it again.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
So is there anything exciting in the future that you think you're going to change, or is there any new? I know you've done the vibrato, which is a bit different for you because you've been obviously fuzz and boosts and
It was always the drive side of things, really. But I did the vibrato. I've got a few things. Problem is, we'll see. We'll see about more modulations and possibly some delays and things as well. But the problem is for me, my mind's kind of analog. As soon as it goes into a digital, I'm blown away always by digital pedals. I think the things that they can do. But I remember I got the freeze, and I was like, oh man, drones is what I've always wanted.
Yeah.
But I can't really go down that route because my brain don't work like that, especially not now. But I've got a couple of distortions that should be coming pretty soon. The Rook and the Jackdaw. There's a few little tweaks I need to make with them. And there's something on my breadboard which I think you might like as well.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Mind you, your pedal. I thought you weren't. I thought you weren't going to buy any more pedals. I thought, no, he's got his board now, and then you bought another one, and I was like, no, it's got to be another one.
I think it's the thing with my pedal board when like before the whole world ended and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In the Secret Faces, the band, we had the keyboard player and he did synthy stuff and this, that, and the other. Yeah. And then he left. So we had this like gaping sort of sound that was, the sound was just, some of the sound was gone. And obviously we mainly had like a guitar band, but we sort of had that, you know, synthy, piano-y sort of thing going on as well. So I think, because
there's a lot of
advertised for but we advertised for a keyboard player and we just had no joy. So I think from there, I went down the route of like, the Meris synths, and then I went down the route of everything else. And it just exploded.
If anyone's watching and wants to check out Josh's board, it's a spaceship. It's a spaceship. I remember you brought it around the first time, and I was just like, all of the lights. Oh,
I know.
I could just stare at all of the lights.
It's different now. It's madder now. It's just. I don't know how I'm going to work it live, to be honest. I think I'm going to have like something like the Edge has got, just switching all the pedals on and off for him.
I think that's probably a good plan. I'll do it for you.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. You know, I'm looking forward to gig, you know, again, and especially with the pedals and you know, just coming up with new sounds. We're meant to be back in the studio. I think I'm actually meant to be in the studio on Sunday. I don't know if that's happening or not, but I'm looking forward to sort of laying down some new layers with the different pedals, especially the Chase Bliss stuff.
Just the sort of textures you can get from them. I mean, it'll be. I'm looking forward to hearing what you do with them. To be honest,
unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. But
really
I'll if I spin the camera around, I can show off your bloody Noir, just so people know.
Wow, have you got a flanger on there as well?
No, that's just a bit of odd reverb and fluttery sort of effect from my father, Noir.
You've taken bloody Noir to space.
Yeah, it is quite spacey. It is quite spacey. Yeah. But when you've got that on with the octave pedals and things like that, it hits you in the stomach.
So hearing it with that pulp that you've got.
Yeah.
It's got some thump to it, hasn't it?
I know, yeah. I was talking to you before, maybe we could do like 2 in a box. Just something even more bonkers, 2 in a box.
We'll sort something out.
Yeah, it'd be good to do something, yeah. But so is there like any sort of anything else like that you think you might want to do? Sort of are you mainly just going to do like drives, fuzzes, a little bit of modulation?
No, I mean I think the difficulty is like I'm still at a stage. I love transistors, so I love the old school stuff. But saying that, like there's always this. I'm sure there's still things you can do. I'm convinced. I know there isn't.
I think you could do something with a valve. See, I can imagine you with a pedal with a big valve sticking out of it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know whether I've ever shown you this actually. I'll unplug it now. This was early in the lockdown thing, and I've always wanted to make one. It's a tube cricket amp, so I called it my lockdown. Where's it?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Lockdown 2020 amp, and that's a hybrid. So it's a simple 386 chip and a ECC 83. I would like to do more with valves, actually. I think I'd like to learn a bit more about that, and possibly, you know, I'm really inspired by some amp builders, man.
I know.
Different league, you know, it's just mind blowing what some people can achieve.
I think that's the good thing about the internet. Like, do you know when before we had the internet, when we were like, obviously there's good and bad things about the internet, but I think when pre-internet, it was just like go to your local guitar shop in Cardiff and see what they had there. It was just Fender, Marshall, PV, you know.
Yeah, man, there's some really creative people. I mean, do you know Parasite Studio? And he did a Theremin Fuzz. I think I played you a clone I made years ago. But like there's people like that, like really small builders, loads of people. Like, I can't name them all, but there's so many people who are doing new, really unusual stuff, and I think that's just like pushing the boundary a little bit. But
I think it's nice as well that people are like going down the route of like small builders now, because small builders are, you know, they're just as good as big builders, you know, and it's good to support people like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think like often you get more of a customer thing as well, like customer service thing, because like the small builder really appreciates anything like in terms of like sales and things like that, and also like the feeling. I think God, it was a few years ago now, I sold my first pedal on eBay, and I think I sold it for the cost of parts, you know, just to see if it would. And the feeling that knowing that something you've made from scratch is going to a different part of the world. I mean, it works both ways. So like, I think, you know, small builders, they're good to work with, I reckon. Not just saying that from my point of view, I think it's from other people I've dealt with and bought stuff from in the past. And
it's like, I know if I could say to you, can you tweak this for me? Can you do something? And I know you could do it. I was reading a story somewhere that somebody bought a JHS. Well, I go on a VCR, Ryan Adams chorus pedal, JHS, and they wanted it modded, and they contacted JHS to mod it, and they were like, "Oh, we don't mod our own pedals. We only mod like Boss, all the other things." And you know, it's a funny one. That
I think when you get like to that size of a company, it's difficult, isn't it? Because you've got like I mean, I don't know how many staff he's got. I don't think it's that many, but it's, you know, it's in the 20s, I imagine. And then you sort of lose, once you get past a certain size, you lose touch with everyone. You know, you can't almost give it that personal touch anymore. Which, so for me, I thought all I hope for is to sell enough pedals and like do enough repairs on bits and pieces to get by, really. You know, I'm not looking to be that big, but it's just, and I think there's certain builders who've really taken off with a bit of promotion as well, like Marcus Reeves. His, like, when I first saw his like his artwork inside the pedals, I was just like, wow, man, like I've never seen anything quite like that before. And it's little things like everyone's got their own take on it. I think, you know, I'll never be that neat, but that's okay.
So I've been my friend Rob said, he was like, are you doing that talk tonight with the guy in Treforest? He says, and I'm like, yeah, Mr. Ritual Devices. He said, ask him if he's got any sort of, is he going to do bass pedals? Is he going to go into the bass world? Is that something you've thought about?
I was chatting to someone the other day who actually I need to get back in touch with, because I've been delayed on something for them. But I was talking to them about bass pedals, and I'm thinking possibly the difficulty is, you know, I don't just want it would have to be built from the ground up, because for me, I could get a drive circuit or something like that, change the input and output caps, do a few little basic mods, and it then create a bass pedal. But I'd really want it to be, because I've done some bass work for a musician called Bird Radio from London. I did some bass session work for him, so I like playing bass, so I do think it's on the cards. So like maybe some bass valve pedal.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Be good to do that.
Yeah,
or you could do like make a saxophone next or something like that. I'm sure you could do that.
A saxophone. There you go. You've done it already for me. I know.
Yeah. So if I said to you then, favorite all-time pedal, and you've got to pick one, what's your favorite all-time pedal? As you've probably played so many different ones over the years, like I have.
I've had so many pedals. I haven't got as many as I used to have actually, which is a shame. Perhaps I'll start collecting again.
Yeah.
You've inspired me to do it. I mean, the first pedal the first pedal I ever had was a bad trade, which was a Dodd Flanger, and I think I was about 13, and like one of the big boys said, "Look, if I can have your guitar, I'll give you a pedal." Well, I've got 2 guitars or whatever, so. And I didn't understand flanger at all. It's just like, oh, that's not good. But then I got a Marshall Shredmaster, which even like I haven't played one since actually, so it probably sounds it's not at all how I remember it. But that was for my first band. We were just loud. It was like everything cranked, make as much noise as possible until the pub we're playing in tells us to turn it off.
Yeah,
one of those type things. Like so that was my favourite ever. That's a really tough question.
I know what mine is.
Go on, you tell me yours.
I love Univibe. Univibe. I love a Univibe.
It's a great pedal and really hard.
I think that's just the whole Hendrix thing.
Yeah, that's great.
But that's probably one of my favorites, if not. Yeah. Even though I don't really play that type of music anymore that much, to be honest with you. But like when I've got a Strat and I've got a Fuzz and I've got a Univibe, there's just nothing.
It's definitely got a sound to it.
You are. Yes, a Fuzz.
Nice.
I just like that streaky noise, you know.
So you love wailing, like that's why you like the Noir and all
that. Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
Wailing sort of sounds.
Yeah.
I don't know, like the one because I played sort of like singer-songwriter stuff for a bit, and I sort of thought, you know, I'm gonna go down this route. I'm getting older. I was probably about 20, and you know, I was like, I'll sell some pedals and I'll get an acoustic guitar and do it. But the one that got me back into electric via the acoustic was just the loop station. And I'm not saying it's my favourite ever, but it in a way it got me back into building pedals. So I was like, okay, that's incredible, because that wasn't around when I was a kid, or tape delays and things like that, but that was out of my league. So that's really cool. But an analog delay, a good analog delay.
No, you can't beat it. I think I had one of the best delay. I love tape echo, and the best delay I've ever had is I had a full tone tape echo, the one with the valves in, and it was brilliant. It sounded amazing, but it chewed tapes to death. Like I remember I did a gig once, and it just literally conked out, and the tape was all like mangled up inside. It was.
Didn't T-Rex do a thing with cassette tapes?
Replica.
Like
I think is there a replica or something like that? Or something bizarre.
Yeah, I think I remember watching one on eBay and then seeing the price going up and up and up. And up. I know.
There was a comment here I saw in the corner of my eye. Bass fuzz, woolly mammoth style.
Ooh, there's a shout. Yeah, woolly mammoth style. There's a place to start. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and it was the replica as well. We've had confirmation it was the replica.
Good to know.
From Mo at the Sound Boutique.
Oh, excellent! Thank you very much. Cheers. This is so strange for me to be doing this.
You know, I think like it's good to do stuff like this, because I've been at work since like 6 o'clock this morning, and I've come home, I've been shattered. I've had nothing but sort of chaos in the house, and I'd be looking forward to this all day, just because it's talking about my interests, and it's talking to somebody else who's like-minded. And if anybody else enjoys this video and can take any information from it, then you know, brilliant, you know. And
exactly, yeah. And like, I'm sure there's plenty of like, I mean, we could do it again. I'm more than happy to do it again. Actually, it's been really nice, nice to have a decent chat with you for a change, because we've been texting a bit and like, you know, here and there. And,
yeah,
but yeah, 6 o'clock this morning.
wow.
It can be a nice time of day in the summer, maybe.
Yeah, but not when it's cold. Not when it's cold.
Yeah.
But so, like, have you got how many, like, roughly how many pedals do you reckon you're going to be getting out this month? Do you reckon, or you just looking to order at the moment?
I tend to make in batches, and then just sell those. I've just finished another batch of WTDE plus boosts.
Great pedal.
Oh, thank you. Cheers. Like
especially with P90s.
Have I had it with your Novo?
Yeah,
I have. I'm like, yeah. No, that's so I've made up loads of them. That seems probably because it's the cheapest of them. I've sold quite a few of them, so that's good. But yeah, I've still got these couple of drive ones to get out, and I'll probably do those in batches as well, small batches to begin with. Yeah, I think that's probably it. I've got a list for my months.
You got a list?
The list, the never-ending list.
I have a list at Christmas time as well.
Yeah.
Like,
you have a list. You start your list on
I think we're going to list weekly.
Yeah. Oh, here you go. You said
there's a cat.
Is the brave.
There we are.
Warm up.
My cat's upstairs curled up in a ball. There's another question here. You'll probably be best known for that. You'll probably be better replying to this one. Any recommendations for forums for people interested in building pedals? Where I started was Tagboard FX. I think it's called Tagboard FX. It's been going for years, and that's really simple for like Vero board stuff and that. Although doing that when you first start can be a bit difficult because you're likely to get solder bridges and things on that. Forum stuff. I mean, DIY stomp boxes is pretty good, and mostly these forums, like if you just Google build your own guitar effects, you know there'll be loads of forums, and most of them are pretty supportive for the most part. I found that I think this Tagboard one was quite good for people starting out because it's quite an inexpensive way of doing it as well, not that time consuming. That's where I'd go is start with some Vero board stuff, simple stuff, and like maybe a boost. That's how I started, was just with the electro harmonics boost, and that feeling when you solder it all up and the first pedal that works, because there's a bucket load of ones that didn't. And it's like, oh my god, there's a sound that's basically just a boosted guitar sound, but it was great. Well, there we are. I hope that's answered Rob's question there in the comments. But
nice.
Yeah. So, have you got a website that people can find out things?
There's ritualdevices.co.uk, which I'm kind of updating at the moment, so it's not looking in its best state at the moment, but it is there. And then there's always my Reverb shop as well. But yeah, ritualdevices.co.uk. And if anyone has any ideas about how I could, because I'm not a web designer, I could make it better. Then if I can, I will. So just give me a shout and tell me where I'm going wrong.
There we are. That's cool. Yeah, I think we've covered everything about yourself, and apart from your religion and everything like that.
Pagan through and through. We should do it again. Perhaps next time we could talk about secret bases and what you've been doing, because I know you've had a few collaborations and stuff going on. Perhaps we can do it again and just have a chat. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, have a chat, cup of tea.
And if anyone does want to ask questions and things like that, by all means, go ahead and I'll do my best to answer it. It goes on, you know.
Yeah, cool. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for your time.
Yeah, no, thanks for sort of organising this, and also I just want to say like thanks to everyone who like. I genuinely mean it when I say thanks for all of the support and the likes, the comments, the shares, whatever it is. You know, it really, I think I speak for everyone who does anything on, you know, like small builders or bands and things like that. But those little things make so much difference. Like it really does make a difference, and it keeps everyone going. You know, and I love our community here. Now, good on you all. Thank you, and thank you, Josh. So
well, maybe next time we can get some other pedal builders involved in this. Maybe we could have like you know yourselves, and I know you Sound Lad Liverpool is here as well.
Oh,
you know, he's making some great pedals. So maybe we could do like a couple of different people, and you could all like bounce, you know, your ideas. You know, maybe there's a collaboration in the works with some other pedal builders.
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to. When all of this ends, I'd love to get together with some people and you know get some ideas out. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great. But yeah, no, thanks for your time, and I enjoyed that. You know, it's
me too. Cheers, man.
Showed me out to no end.
Excellent. Oh, good on you, man. Thank you. Thanks for everything. Cheers, man.
And yeah, I will speak to you soon.
Yeah, definitely will do. Cheers. Take care of yourself, man.
Good night, man. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I hope everybody enjoyed that. That was Wub at Ritual Devices. And now I'm going to sign off and go and make a cup of tea. Cheerio. Thank you.